Hello, this is Nathan Dunn, Elite Application Engineer for GoEngineer. Today we're going to be looking at what's new SOLIDWORKS 2015 Assembly Environment. SOLIDWORKS pioneered assembly motion and mimicking real-life situations. However, when you have multiple components that all have degrees of freedom, sometimes this can be a little difficult to control. In SOLIDWORKS 2015, through the Move Component dialog box, we have the ability to temporarily fix components, allowing us to have a much better understanding of how our components are going to move and a better control over how those components move. We even have the ability to group components together temporarily in order to really understand and control this rotation. This can even be remembered for future selections, so the next time you launch the Move Component dialog, your selection set will already be available. Another knob needs to be added to our assembly in order to lock down the vertical shaft of our arm. Using the standard Insert Components dialog, you'll see a new menu that's available. This menu allows us to predefine the rotation and the orientation of our knob prior to insertion, allowing us to quickly and easily add this to our assembly and already have it in the right orientation for mating purposes. Go ahead and add a concentric mate to this, as well as a tangent to the shaft. Interference detection is a powerful capability of SOLIDWORKS to determine interferences before parts are produced. But sometimes those interferences are intended, such as in press fits or O-rings. In this example, if we run interference detection on our assembly, we're going to see that there's a few interferences that are taking place between the shaft and the bearing surface that need to be dealt with. But there's also some interferences that are being caused by some O-rings. In SOLIDWORKS 2015, we can ignore these components similar to what we did in the past, but we can also do a ignore smaller than. So if you have a small interference like this for this O-ring, a simple right click to ignore smaller than will eliminate both of those interferences from our display. We also have the capability of sorting these largest to smallest or smallest to largest in order for us to be able to determine quickly where our interferences are coming from and what the largest interferences might be in our assembly. In this example, we need to make a modification to our bracket to get rid of the interference of the shaft. There's a new bore feature that has already been created inside of this part that changes the geometry for the interior of our shaft. However, when we come back to the assembly, you're going to notice that there's a lot of errors that have occurred because of this modification. We got rid of a surface that was used for mating purposes. We come in here and edit one of our mates and replace the face that was the interior face of our bearing and make that now the exterior surface. You'll notice a new dialog box that allows us to replace all missing mate references that were tied to that surface. So by fixing one mate, we've solved all of the mate issues inside of this assembly. There's also times where we need to be able to make a variation of a specific component that is used multiple times inside of our assembly. In the past, a save as copy and then an individual replace instance was required for this process. In SOLIDWORKS 2015, right-clicking on a component and saying Make Independent will actually give us the capability of replacing only this instance with a new name, leaving all of the other instances alone, and allowing us to now make modifications to this component without affecting the other knobs. In SOLIDWORKS 2014, we provided the option to keep child features when deleting parent features, and in SOLIDWORKS 2015, we've extended this capability to the assembly level as well. If we delete this component, SOLIDWORKS is going to give us a list of child features that are going to be deleted along with it. If we choose not to delete those child features, we can then reassociate them to other features in order to keep them in our assembly. Finally, we need to add an additional arm to complete our assembly. A simple copy with mates is going to take care of this for us. But in SOLIDWORKS 2015, we have enhanced the copy with mates to include symmetry and width mates, including the controls for distance and percentage. Making a few selections to replace the mate entity will allow me to have an exact duplicate, including that width mate It was free to move about the assembly. And there we go, another arm added to our assembly. And you'll notice that the motion matches that which was created from the copy itself. Thank you for watching this video on What's New SOLIDWORKS 2015 Assembly Environment.